All right, YouTube fam, I am going to start the league for this month. League Revelations. It's only 5 days in, and I'm going to start putting together kind of like a series for these leagues on the channel. So um, the first week will be deck building, and then playing up to the 10 games. And what I'll try to do is the first or each Sunday of the month, I'll post up a video at the end of the week on the Sunday with the deck building and then up to 10 games. I'll probably just edit through them. Maybe if there's not an interesting one, cut it out, but some amount of gameplay to go with it. And I'm going to go deep on these. I felt like the last one I kind of rushed through a lot of stuff. I'm still get my feet wet in it, so still kind of getting used to recording and talking through plays and all that, but I want this to be a beginner could watch it and learn something. And even if you're more intermediate level, you can really get something in this to bring up your game. So what I'm going to do for this one is crack open the packs, and I'm going to kind of run through the basic strategy of a sealed event. It's called a league event, how it works, and how best to go about building your first league deck, and kind of just the basic pillars about how to do that. So to start off, intros. So league is a format Eternal holds every month, and essentially it's 12,500 gold to enter, and you'll get 8 packs to open. You get one of these sets of packs each week. So you start off with 8 packs, and you make your deck based on those 8 packs. And you play 10 games a week. You can play additional games after the 10. They just won't count for your record. And then basically at the end of it, if we go to view prizes, so we can see the prizes here on this screen. And we see even at the lowest ranking, 10,000 plus. Now, usually when you join this event, you're already at like 2,000. But, you know, let's say you just don't even play. You go 0 and 40, 10 games times the 4 weeks you play. You'll still get 4 packs and a premium uncommon. Now, the cool thing about that is, looking at the value of this, you'll get a free premium card back, which those are always sweet to collect because you can't buy them from the store or anything. But 1,000 gold equals 1 pack if you just bought it from the store, which you should never do because there are ways and events to use your gold to get way more than 1 pack per 1,000 gold. And if we look, so 12,500 pack or gold would get you 12.5 packs. We'll just say 13 just because you can't buy half a pack. Now we'll get 8, 10, 12, 14, and then from the prizes, 4 additional for a total of 18 packs. You don't even need to play. You could just join this event, and you basically got 5 free packs, right? And realistically, you're gonna be higher than this tier. You'll end up being in one of these tiers minimum, I would say. And once you're getting into the 7 or 9 extra pack range, you're almost doubling your gold per pack investment there. So I would suggest this is, I feel, the best way to really get better at the game after you've gotten comfortable with Gauntlet and maybe done some Forge runs. And this is kind of like, I feel, the best way to dip your toe in a more, it's very casual event for sure, but you can take it competitively. And I think this is a way to wow. I think this is a good way to do it, and it's a good investment. So that's kind of the overview on League. So we are going to pay the gold. Claim your rewards. There we go. Ooh, baby, I like that. That actually looks sweet. I wasn't a huge fan of the last month's one, so I'm vibing with that one. I like that. And here are our packs, and this is how we'll open them. So you want to look for 3 main things here, and I'll start with the most important and work down. The most important thing is you want to look for cards that are considered bombs. So a bomb is a unit or a spell that's super powerful. It can win the game on your own, or it can win the game on its own just by playing it and attacking with it, or a spell or attachment. It's a card that can win the game on its own, or greatly push it in your favor, or help you catch up really well when you're behind. So that's a bomb. Now, the second tier under that is removal, and removal is considered any card that removes the unit from the field. It can be to the bottom of their deck. It can be kill a unit, send it to the void. It could be stun it permanently. All of those things count as removal. Anything that basically says this unit is useless. Transforming it into a 1/1, that is considered removal. Those cards are super important because sometimes, I mean, basically every game, your opponent's going to play something that your units just can't deal with outright. The third thing is just efficient units. Basically, efficient means its power cost to how much power and health it is at a good ratio. So a 6 cost 1/1 is not going to be an efficient card. A 3 cost 6/6 would be a very efficient card. So that's very basic kind of layout of what we're looking for here. And you'll just make a mental note of it while we're opening the pack. So let's kind of run through this as an example. So first pack here, Nurturing Sentinel. Now I'll go through the cards. I'll just highlight the ones that stick out in my mind. So Mod Ready Drone, it's a 3 cost 2/2. When you summon it, it has 2 different effects that you can do. You can either give it flying or give it +1/+1. The fact that both of those are decently efficient modes for this card, this is what I would consider an efficient unit, one that you want. All these ruins are very good cards. Nothing crazy. You gain 3 life. I apologize, my webcam's blocking that, but you gain 3 health for each attacking unit. That card's not great. So here is our first removal spell. So 4 cost, 2 Justice Influence, kill an enemy unit or site with cost 4 or more. Fantastic. So we make a mental note in our head. Okay, we have a removal spell in Justice. Obstructive Flicker, deal 1 damage to each attacking enemy or negate an enemy spell that's fast. Kind of conditional. There aren't the situations where this card's going to be good. For example, they have multiple 1 health or they play a slow speed spell. Don't always happen, so that makes this card not always very good. Detonation Cannon, this counts as removal. Relic Weapons are kind of like removal. So it's a 2 cost 2/1 Relic Weapon. So basically it can deal 2 damage to one of your opponent's units, and then that unit will deal damage to you. Essentially, this is deal 2 damage to your opponent, or 2 damage to your opponent's creature. That creature will most likely kill the relic weapon when it damages it back. So It's kind of like a cheaper removal spell, with Amplify, which is just icing on the cake. When you play unit with Stealth, draw a card. After the third, sacrifice it to gain 3. So this is obviously a card that's telling us we want you to build your deck around things with Stealth, because you get paid off when you play a unit with Stealth. So we'll need to keep an eye out for various Stealth cards, see if we get any pretty good ones. We have a couple here, but none that I'm too thrilled about. Okay. Well, so Guardian Angel. So this is considered a bomb. It's a 6-cost 5/5 flying with endurance. Summon, give one of your other units invulnerable to damage while you have this card. So it essentially makes another one of your units unkillable, and this in itself can attack for 5 and still be up to defend you. So this is considered a bomb. So right off the bat, kind of funny enough, we have examples of all 3 of those categories I talked about in this one pack in one color. We have our bomb, Injustice, we have a removal spell, and we have an efficient, decent creature. So right now, I'm already like, okay, we're going to be Justice something. But we'll keep an eye out on what else we open. Okay. Ooh, beautiful premium. Another detonation cannon. A stealth guy, we wanted to look out for that. So Ursa Squadron, you can't see this, but it's a 2-power 2/2 with Valor and Warcry. This counts as an efficient unit, so definitely one we need to keep an eye on. Pretty decent. Your attacking units have Deadly. That really good unit that you definitely want to include in your deck if you're going to play a time factioned deck. So your units have Deadly, that's an amazing effect. Charge is kind of just icing on the cake for him. So still looking strong on the Justice train. A couple decent time cards here. Nothing else too crazy. Okay, so Ruin and Justice, I'm happy for that. Let's see, nothing crazy. We have a dual faction card and Fire and Time. We have this guy. Soaring Crashers, an okay flyer. Stone Scar Blueprints. These cards help fix your sigil count, essentially. So, let's say if you're playing a Stone Scar deck, a deck that uses both fire and shadow cards in it, say you only draw only your fire sigils, which happens, and this, when you draw it, can count as a shadow sigil. So it helps, that's called fixing your influence, essentially, because it helps get you to the influence you need to actually play your units and spells. So that's a very good card if you are looking to be one of these factions. Rolling Fog, Shockwave Elemental. Azrog Streetbreaker. I would consider this a bomb, though. It's got a bunch of effects, all of which is upside, and it's still a 6-drop, 6/4. When you attack with exactly 2 units, deal 4 to an enemy. That's removal just on this unit, and they don't even need to attack to activate that. It could be 2 of your other units. So now we kind of got our eye on maybe Fire as a secondary color, because we're still on Justice. But at least of the other colors, it looks like we have Time and Fire to really keep an eye on. Okay. 4-drop 3/4. When you attack with exactly 2 units, they get Endurance. Another really good card. This is a 4-power 2/3 with Killer. Very basic. Another fire time, and its removal. very good card, Searing Strike. Challenger Axe. Let's see what we got here. Hidden Crusader, Stealth. When it's revealed on your turn, draw a card. If she's revealed on the enemy turn, play a 2/2. Let's see, did anything really change our evaluation? We got another good Justice card. Challenger's Axe could be a fine addition to the fire if we want to go that route. Yeah, that's about it here. Oh boy, Laser Blast. This is considered removal. So one of your units deals its current health in damage to an enemy unit or site. It costs 2 less if your unit is a Sentinel. That's just icing on the cake. Obviously, it's meant for a Sentinel deck. Still fully playable removal in any fire-based deck. So I'm highly considering fire as our secondary color here. So this is a 2-cost 2/2. Fate, your units get +1 until end of turn. Jade Lodestone, it's fine. Air support's a decent unit. Flying is very powerful in the League format. Same way it is in Forge, Gauntlet, and Draft. It's very powerful, so... Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, baby! Okay. This basically seals the deal. Barring some very ridiculous pulls in these last packs, we're definitely going to be playing fire. So, Opum the Gem Raiser. So 5 cost, 5/5. Summon, give one of your other Sentinels, so we'll need to keep an eye on our Sentinel count. +5/+5 while you have him. And when Opim dies, it's Entomb, deal damage to an enemy unit equal to the number of your Sentinels in your Void. So, this might not be as powerful as, like, first glance, this is obviously a card that pays you off for having Sentinels. But baseline, it's a 5-cost 5/5 that when it dies, will probably at least do 1 to 3 damage when it dies, which acts as a removal spell. So, and God forbid you have any other Sentinel, anything, you're good. Now, luckily for us, the other faction we wanted was Justice. Justice has a lot of Sentinels in it, so we're most likely going to be Rakano. And Rakano is the term used to call Fire and Justice faction decks. So and I wanted that card for one of my other decks, so I'm happy right now. Draw an attachment or Sentinel from your Void. Gravity Glove, this is a sneaky card. This counts as removal as well. Generally, you play it for 3 total power, meaning you pay the 1 and you amplify it once. Its amplify cost is 2, so 3 total power, and then it becomes a 3-cost 2/2 relic weapon, which deals, as we explained with Detonation Cannon, basically it'll deal 2 damage to their unit, and it can pick off their small things. The benefit is if you draw this later in the game when you have a bunch of power, it can be a 4/4 relic weapon and take out something bigger, so... Speed Grafter is a great card. It deals with the market, which we'll get into when the time comes. But time is, like I said, we need something pretty crazy to kick us off Rakano. And we got a nice red Sentinel here. 4 cost, 4/4. Nice, efficiently costed. Okay, put one of your units into your market, then play another unit with the same cost or less. This is kind of a situational, I call these do-nothing spells. I did not make that term, but basically it doesn't directly affect the board, right? You play this spell, and you don't get a free unit, it just changes one of your units to a different one, so we're kind of off that. Another legendary? That's crazy. I went so many leagues without getting a legendary, and this one and the last one I got like 2 or 3. Okay. Nice, nice. Hellfire Oni. When you play a weapon on Hellfire Oni, play an additional copy of that weapon on her. That's pretty good. Entrapment, another removal spell. Injustice, kill an attacking enemy unit. It can't be played at night. That shouldn't be too common of a thing. Night is an old mechanic from the Dusk Road, and I think a few other sets, so there shouldn't be too much of that going on. Ooh, what the? 5 cost, 6/4, triple Shadow Influence, Lifesteal. When Shadowland's Tyrant attacks, he deals 1 damage to an enemy, then increases ability by 1. Okay, here's another example of a bomb. The case here is we didn't have many other Shadow Faction cards that were good, right? You want to try your best to play all the bombs that you open, but if there's no other cards supporting it, it's just not going to work out well for you. This is definitely a wicked powerful card, but we just didn't really open any other strong Shadow Faction cards, so... I like to follow my removal, and I think we literally didn't open any shadow-based removal, so... Okay. 2 units in your hand share a type, gain an influence of your choice. We'll see how many Sentinels we have. Sentinel Ally, okay, that'll be going in the deck. Cursed enemy unit. Cursed unit and each other enemy unit are reckless. Okay, that's once again kind of one of those meh cards. So we're gonna start off like this. I'm just gonna add 9 of each, just kind of to give us a baseline count. I like to start off with 18 power and then kind of go from there. And kind of how I do this is I go through all the cards, I put in each of the cards I would consider playable, good enough to be in the deck, and I'll go on a little bit of a educational tangent on that. Basically, you want this is a very deep topic, but just very basic. You want each of the cards you put in your deck to do something. And what I mean, it needs to affect the field in some way. So whether it's a unit that's actually big enough to attack and block effect, or it's a spell that actually deals with their unit, or, gives one of your units a bunch of battle skills and powerful buffs. Like, you don't want to be playing... Let's see if I can find an example. All of our red cards. So, take Jade Lodestone, for example. Stun each enemy unit with 1 power or less. Pay 1, exhaust a Sentinel, sacrifice it to play a Justice Sigil from your deck depleted. You don't have relic synergies. This just doesn't do enough on its own. Most fields in Eternal aren't going to have that many units with 1 power or less. So this is an example of a card you wouldn't want to add in. But so let's go back. So we'll start off with our detonation cannon. We want to include basically all Sentinels in our deck. We'll stray away from... That's a perfectly playable card, but for now we'll leave it there. Awakened Instigator, Laser Blast, Sentinel Charge. We only have this weapon, I'm pretty sure, to equip. So I would rather have a 4-cost flyer, even though it's 1 health. Challenger's Axe, Opim, Azrog. Okay. Okay. So, Gravity Glove, 2-drop is good. This is another card that draw a Justice Sigil from your deck. You might be like, great, sometimes I'm short on sigils, but sometimes it got too many. So this is a card you would only want to include in your deck if you had a lot of 5+ cost units or spells. Generally in League you don't have that, so it generally is not a card you would include in your deck, but we'll keep going here. So Ursa Squadron, as I mentioned earlier, really good. Genius Combatant's perfectly fine, but I think we'll end up having enough 3s, and I like Mod Ready Drone better. Removal. All your removals going in the deck. Get it all in there. Spirit Blade Stalker is good. We'll just toss that in for now. Another Sentinel that has that attacking with 2 units theme. That's a good card. Air Support's a good card. Guardian Angel. Now, that leaves us with 40 cards. So, let's go back. We had the 3-drop we could put in. So, I'll take this time also, something I'm keeping track of. Whenever you build a deck, you want to create a good curve. And what I mean, if you look on this graph, for lack of a better word here, this shows you the number of cards you have at each power cost. And you want a nice bell-shaped curve. Most often in a game, in your opening hand, you're going to have 2 to 3 sigils right off the bat. You want most of your units and spells to be 2, 3, and then hopefully you draw 4. You want less units at 5 or 6 because you draw them in your early hand and you'll just die before you end up playing any of them. Same thing with usually 0 and 1 cost stuff. Sure, they're great on turn 1, but sometimes you'll draw them later in the game, and if it's a 1 cost 1/1 flyer, it's just not going to have a big enough effect on the board for you. So that's kind of, you shape your curve in that fashion. And that also gives you the greatest chance of curving out. And what that means is when you have 2 sigils, you play a 2-drop unit. When you have 3 sigils, the next turn you play a 3-drop unit. And when you build that momentum in the game, that's what drives you to win the games, is that curving out, or the tempo, or the momentum you build there by growing out your field in an efficient manner. So, a little deep dive on curve. So, what else do we got? So we give a unit, I totally missed this. Give a unit +2/+2, pay 1 in sack to give a unit +2/+2. This is a card you don't want too many of. It's kind of like a do-nothing card in a lot of ways, but we need some amount of playables, and we almost have we have a decent amount of attachments and not many spells, so we might be able to play with one of those. Put in one of those. Put in our other 4-drop. Put in our 2-drop that we left out. So what, we need one more card. You know, funny enough, I might just make it a Ruin of Law. We'll just play 19 power in the deck. We have... So, generally, right, you want to stay in that 18 range, but since we have Azrog, Guardian Angel, we have these strong 6-drop units that we want to play. These are our bombs in our deck. I want to make sure I actually get to that point, so I have no problem including an extra Ruin here. So now we have 45 cards. The next thing we want to do is look at our faction split, because this determines... So I started off a 9-9 split just for the sake of simplicity. But let's say I had, 20 fire influence requirements and only 10 justice, you'll obviously want more fire sigils versus your justice sigils. In this case, we're 14-12, and since we have the Ruin of Law, what we'll do is we'll take out a justice sigil and throw in a fire sigil. That way we have slightly more fire than justice, but still very close. And there we have it. That is building a league deck, and I kind of set out the most streamlined kind of thought process on how to do it. So kind of use those guidelines, and through practice of your playing in leagues and just building decks over time, because all of these principles apply, whether you're building a deck for Expedition or Throne. So the curve principles, looking at your influence requirements, all of that stuff. Wanting your cards to impact the board and do stuff when you play them. So we are going to say done. Okay, so as I said, right off the bat, we didn't even play a game. We're ranked 2,101. Now, right here, let's look at the prizes. 2,101. We are already in this bracket. Now, obviously, this is early on in the month. There's going to be more people that can drop that lower, but as I said at the beginning, usually when you join in, this is about where you end up. So, I mean, at minimum, even if 2,500 more people join, you don't play a game, you lose all 40, you drop down here, that's 7 packs, and then you're getting the, what was it, 14 from just opening the packs every week for the league. 14 plus 7 is 21. You're getting 21 packs, which should cost 21,000 gold for 12,000 gold. So, just as an example, you're always going to be plussing value by joining League, and it's fun as hell. So, it's a win-win. Alrighty, so once again, I'm going to be kind of detailing my every thought. That way, if you're a beginner or slightly newer to the game, it kind of gives you a sense of what to do. So I have a hand that has 2 to 4 sigils in it. I have both of my factions in here and a decent spread of units and spells, so this is a key. Now, ideally, we would want a 2-power unit in here. Our curve is not very good, so just something to keep in mind. So this has an amplify of 5 that's so far away that I'm using the ruin. We're going to need all the power we can get to cast these units. Now I'm starting to get worried. I still haven't drawn a 2 or 3 cost unit here, but hopefully we'll get something. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, this is nice. So this Speed Grafter, as I mentioned before, and it's premium, beautiful card. It can swap something in his hand for something in his market and give one of his units a buff. We don't want that. That'll give him very good card advantage against us, so we're going to use our Detonation Cannon, as I said, as a removal spell. So he played a 3-power stealth thing. All the stealths in the Revelations format cost 3 or 5 power. So we can kind of narrow this down to probably like 6 or so card units between these two factions. Most of them have 2 or 3 power. So knowing that, I want to start playing with a unit that can successfully block it. So what is this guy? At the start of your turn, reveal and play Power Burst. So right here, since he's attacking with this, he's representing he has a pump spell of some sort. I'll accept his bluff here. And see how there was a pause there, so he had to continue the fight? That hints that he had something even more. So, since we know that, we basically want to play around the fact that he has maybe a Scythe Slash is a fire spell. We'd rather play Red Plate Crasher, and the reason is that could block it without him dying. If this blocked it, he would just not use the trick, and they would both die. So we're going to play Red Plate Crasher. It gives his power to a unit. We're going to attack for a big whopping 7. And now you see here I have the Laser Blast, right? I can pay 1, since both of my guys are Sentinels, to kill his unit. But we're saving this for a stronger unit, since both of these guys can kill this unit in combat. So, kind of waffling back and forth. I'm still getting used to recording and talking through things as I go, so bear with me for sure. A variety of playmats for sure. Interesting. The fact that he didn't swing there is quite interesting. So what I'm going to do, so what, he could probably have a Scythe Slash or something. And he could use that to trade off. If it's a Saddle Up, he wouldn't. Saddle Up is a green pump spell, so he wouldn't have had that option to play that. This is a tough decision. I think I'm gonna be more aggressive here, and we'll use that to kill that. That way he has no block that can kill one of my units. Yeah, see, he's got something here. Let's see what it is. Attack with both, since this thing has 0 power. And then we'll play our 4-drop. If our opponent doesn't do anything soon, this is going to be over fairly quickly. So we have our bomb right here to play next turn. Okay, we're drawing a little sigil heavy, but I'm not too worried about that. So normally I want this attacking with exactly 2 units thing, right? In this case, he doesn't have anything we need to block. Maybe summon something with charge, but we're fine with that because we're still at 19 life. So we're just going to attack with everything since we're the aggressor in this particular point of the game. Okay, Hoof Slash was the card that he had the whole time. Give a unit +4/+2. And I'm totally fine with that, so play a Sigil, Guardian Angel, and we'll give our 3/4 Invulnerable. So that was a good turn for him. He gained some life, he killed one of our units, but I'm feeling very good right now. I drew like 3 sigils too much. Okay, attack with everything once again. Okay, that was... he had his removal spell for my bomb, but he took everything. That's strange, for sure. We'll see what our opponent has in store. We definitely need to stop drawing sigils here, because if he plays a few good units in a row, he could be in some trouble. Like exactly this case. When you attack, when you're thinking about attacking with the units, you want to expect what your opponent's going to do. So if I attack with both, he most likely puts the 3/3 and the 2/2 on the 4/4 and chumps this guy with the 3/4. Chump is when you block, but your own unit dies just to save you the damage. And once again, I'm the aggressor here. I'm comfortable with pushing in that damage, so I will attack with both. Okay, he blocked as I would expect. Nah. So we'll take out the double damage only because our Sentinel here can still block his 2/1. We'll play Mod Ready Drone, and we'll give it Flying. And remember I said Flying's one of the strongest mechanics in these League formats. Right now, he has to kill this or play a Flyer, which he did. Wow, so that was a fantastic draw for us. So, Emerald Overcharger to give him +2/+2. He obviously can't block that. We don't want to attack with this, because even if we use this again to give him +2/+2, if he double blocked, we would lose our unit. Actually, but then he would have no unit, so that could have been a mistake there. But so definitely a harder game than expected, considering how well our draws planned out. But wow, we went from 2,100 to rank 747. So obviously, if I didn't play any more games, this would probably end up going back to the 2000s or some, I don't know exactly, but you get the point. Okay, so we have 2 to 4 sigils in hand, both of our factions. We have a 1-cost thing and a couple 2-drops, so definite keep. The one thing to note, even though this costs 1, remember we want each card in our deck to affect the board when we play it, and a 1/1 relic isn't really going to be able to kill anything. Usually you want to play it for 3. Okay, no real decisions yet. We'll go with Ursa Squadron, just because the sooner it can attack, the sooner we'll get the War Cry effects. Okay, so fire. Now, unfortunately, our relic weapon here has 1 armor, so if we used it to kill this, it would kill our weapon. So we want to save the weapon for something with 2 health. So we'll attack here, get our War Cry trigger, and I am going to play Mod Ready Drone, and we're going to give it Flying. That's going to be the most common one. We'll see if that pans out. It's still early, so it's hard to really make a good decision there, but put a firebomb into the enemy deck. Okay, so that's, once again, I'm fine racing this guy. So he's attacking me for 2. I'm going to be attacking him back for 4, since he can't successfully block this guy since he has Valor. So this is called a damage race, and when you think you can win the damage race, you generally take the damage and then you attack back for more. So what we'll do here, we have a couple removal spells here. So I'll probably save Gravity Glove. Actually, this has Detonate for 5. So yeah, I think we just run it out, amplify it once, make it a 2/2. We'll kill his 2/2 that buffs his Grenadine. And then we'll attack with both of our units, get a second War Cry trigger. I'm excited to draw that unit. And now we still have a couple removal spells, 5-cost weapon. I don't know why he's doing that, but he's not winning this fight. Okay, that was he had a removal spell for my unit. So this is tough here. Give one of your other units +3/+3. So if I use that now, it makes this a 5/5, but that effect kind of gets lost. It's also putting all my eggs in one basket, because I'm using a card to buff up this. If he has any kind of removal spell, we're really screwed. So I think, though, that's going to be the best bet since we're starting to run out of steam here. We don't have any other units. We just have a couple of removal spells, so I kind of want to finish him off before he starts getting his power and playing stronger things. Okay, yeah. So we'll play this. I guess I can fire this off. I'll save it. I'll save it. I'm trying to think of what shadow card it could be that could really get me in trouble. If he plays a flyer, we can certainly be in trouble, but I guess I'm not too worried about any of the 3-drop things. Any of the 3-cost stealth units. Okay, that was one of the options, so when he hits me, so we actually have game here. We attack for 5, assuming he doesn't kill our unit, and then detonation cannon to play. Oh, this thing has Aegis, doesn't it? Okay. Oh boy, what a draw. So what's his other relic? The Medibot station. So let's see what we can do here. So we can't laser blast his unit because it has Aegis, which will block it. But we can attack successfully. So if I attack here, okay, and we're fine with that. So we'll play Guardian Angel. We'll give our mod ready Sentinel invulnerable to damage. And now basically he needs 2 removal spells here to get out of this. Play a Shadow Sea Slime. Interesting. Wow, that's really good. It's a cool card. So the question here, right? I have a free block on any of these things, but if we take this damage, right, we have the health to spare, and in case he does have something that can give one of his units a huge buff, and like deadly or something, God forbid we lose this unit, so we'll just take the damage. And there's the game. Okay, what do we got here? Oof. So, I have way too many sigils, way too many power cards in general. This is a power card here. Even though it's not a sigil, it's essentially the same thing. This is... I don't think I've had a 6-power hand in a long time, so that's definitely a redraw. This will be a keep. We have things of 2 colors, we have 3 power. Once again, we have a little, so this is when I was talking about curve. You see how we've been having a lot of 4-cost things in our opening hands? That means we probably have 1 or 2 too many, so our opponent is rushing us here. But yeah, that is why it's important to have a good curve, though. But we drew our 2-drop, which is really good. I wish we had something to kill Plate Grafter right off the bat. That'll give one of his guys +1/+1 in endurance, which is really good at stabilizing his board state. So I'll just hope he doesn't use it right away. I assume if he's going for that attack, he doesn't plan on it. Okay, I'm really happy about this. So we're going to use this right away. Kill his thing. And we'll attack in. There aren't too many 3/2s in his color, so what'd he end up having? So he didn't want to trade this. That's very interesting. It has deadly, so they would have traded. So he thinks he can win this damage race, which, as it stands, he can. And then he's going all in. Okay, they're kind of getting punished here. Oh, so close. So unfortunately, what we're going to need to do here is double block this and hope he doesn't have a trick. This can only kill something with cost 4 or more, so, and this, even though it got the Warcry buff, will only deal 3. So, play our 3/3 and pass. Our opponent definitely has a good deck built, or he's just carving out really well.
Battle formation.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so he didn't have anything else. That's very good for us. So, so if we play Red Plate Crasher, give the buff to Ursa Squadron, and attack, he would need to double block it to finish it off. But we don't want to block with him, so I almost don't want to go that route. Now, we could use a detonation cannon, but then we wouldn't be using our power efficiently. Generally, you want to use as much power as you can per turn. Our opponent's kind of really obnoxious. But, sometimes you'll encounter these guys, just ignore them. Play the speed you need to play. So, this is a tough one here. It's either between just killing his Warcry guy or playing one of our big boys here. So we'll go for this. I'm fine to trade this unit. And he still is trying to win this damage race, so that's why he ended up just taking the 6 here. We could really use Entrapment, I think was the one removal spell for an attacking unit.
Face.
Fine with that. And I'm fine with... Oh, I'm not really fine with that, because it's just a 2/1, but I think we got a block there. We need to start evening up this board state for us. Man, that would be great if we had 6 power. So we are in a rough spot here for sure. Yeah, we're just going to keep on building out our board. So basically, we are no longer trying to race our opponent. We have stronger endgame stuff, so we're just going to try to live long enough to play it. So generally, you want to block your least valuable unit on their most valuable unit. I get a lot of mileage out of this strategy because obviously if they have to choose a combat trick to put on one of them, they're going to want to use it on their better unit to kill it, to save it, and that way you lose your worst unit. So in this case it's tough, but we'll block the 3/4 because right now we just want raw stats on board. And I assume he's going to auto tread both of them. Wow, he went all in. I'm gonna give him a very impressive. So we'll go ahead and just detonation cannon straight away. And now, since we don't have a good block, we don't want to play our second one. Okay, so you had a removal for our guy. We need to start hitting a removal spell or sigils.
Ramming speed.
Okay, player 3/1. I hate to say we might need to chump block his guy here. We won't for now. He obviously didn't play a unit just because his Blitzstone relic can give it charge. Okay,
Salvation arrives.
so we need it to not be a removal spell. Now that it's invulnerable to damage, it can block his 5/4 continuously. But if he has a removal spell for Guardian Angel, this is probably just GG's. Unless we get a removal spell of our own that can take this guy
What could
out.
go wrong?
Oh wow, that's funny, we're still chilling. Just got a Warcry trigger or something. A second one. Okay, at this point, oh baby. Huh. So you drew a removal spell that could kill the 5/4. This right here, we are in amazing shape. So at this point, I'm going to use my removal spell to kill his 5/4. I'm going to attack with both. Since they have endurance, they can block his 4/4. So the only thing we're worried about, if he attacks here, it could mean he has a combat trick. And if we lose Guardian Angel, we go from very favored to not favored. So very skilled, risky play. He could have bluff attack there, and I might have considered taking it. So we actually just have game here. Detonate will deal 4, he's at 9, we deal exactly 9. Unless he has the kill and attacking unit thing. Okay, gain 6. So now we don't have it, so we'll just play our unit and pass the turn. And now it's good, because even if he does draw a combat trick like a Scythe Slash or a Saddle Up, we can just chump with our Spark Catcher. What's this thing? Give it +1/+1 and return it to the hand.
Keep it moving.
None of his stuff has flying. So, GG's. Detonated cannon will amplify targeting. Well, we have to target him, deal 4. Wow! That was a close game. Okay. Game 3. Once again, you're noticing a trend. 2 to 4 sigils. We have each faction. I'm a little bit less enthused just because we have double fire here, but no 2 drops, but we'll keep it. We have a good curve, so we do have multiple things at 2, 3 power cost, so we should have a good chance of drawing them. But luck is still a part of this game too, and we just won 3 in a row, so we'll see.
Under the cover of darkness.
Funny enough, there's a Knight card. We were saying there aren't that many, and here's a rare that gives it. So when you start your turn at Knight, your Unseen get an Aegis. So basically Knight, you see it dealt 1 damage to me, but I drew an extra card, and he'll deal 1 damage to him, he'll draw an extra card, and then it wears off, so it's temporary. We don't care too much about that getting an Aegis, so we'll just play a 2/2 that can just block it. As opposed to playing our Gravity Glove for 3, making a 2/2 to kill it, so. Now, that can be a problem. Okay, give one of your units.
Would you look at that?
So he has a bigger unit in his hand. So no blocks, just because we would be chumping and losing our unit for no value. So we don't want to do that. All of these 3/3s right now are kind of really bad for us. Hopefully he doesn't have a relic or we're gonna be in some trouble. So this will get +2/+2. A 4 cost? Wait a minute. Interesting. Very interesting. So what we'll do is we'll gravity glove and we're gonna see what it is. Okay. So that definitely hurt. So that was my bad on that. That was probably not the greatest decision.
You better get ready.
I'm just confused on why does this cost 4? I thought the stealth unit should only be at 3 and 5. Okay. So let's get back on track here. Wow. This guy's effect doesn't even kill anything. That's pretty sad. But
Burn!
we'll play our Azrog if we attack with both. Most likely he takes some amount of it. He could eat the 2/2, block with the 1/1, and then our 4 doesn't do anything. Yeah, that doesn't seem very good. Okay, so we can still claw back here. We just need him to stop playing all these powerful units. So there's another 3. I'm very curious. I don't have the answer for you. Maybe there were balancing changes that I missed and they made this cost 4 now? But okay, so this is very good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Guardian Angel,
Salvation arrives.
and we're gonna make Azrog invulnerable to damage. We'll basically attack with the 2/2 and the 3/3. Deal 4 to an enemy, so we'll take out his stealth unit.
A quick getaway!
Okay. He still has a decent attack with that 5/6. You gain an Aegis, that's pretty good for him. Kill an enemy unit with cost 4 or more. That 5/6 looks like a wonderful, wonderful option. And then we can play the 2/2. I kind of like that plan. Deal 4 to an enemy. Kill the 2/4 with flying. Might just take this and try to race us. Okay, I actually like that even better. So now we'll kill the 5/6. Play the 3/3. And we've just stabilized and turned the game around in our favor. This is the power of, you know, strong bombs combined.
Would you look at that?
That's all he has. That's pretty much game, yeah. Alright, let's hop into another game. Oh boy. So, This is pretty easy shit back. Once you start getting a hand with more than 4 sigils, you just aren't going to have enough stuff to do. You don't have enough resources to win the game, essentially. So we'll use our free redraw. I wish we had one more sigil here, since we have 2 of our 6 cost units, but we have a bunch of 2s, so, and both factions here, so I'm going to keep that. Our opponent went down an extra mulligan, so they're -1 cards, and there is another sigil. So we're looking good. Going down 1 card in these league games or draft games is a huge downside, so nothing can have Aegis. So this is a really good card. He can pay 5 and discard a card to kill one of my guys. However, he can't do that for a few turns, so we'll play out our turn as normal. Play Ursa Squadron, hope he tries to race and attack with that thing. Okay, he does not. So it could be a 3-2, meaning if we attack and he trades out, it's not great for us. So a couple options here. I can either play one of the 3s, pass the turn, or I can use Detonation Cannon to kill his 3/1 Shadow Creeper and then attack and hope this is not a 3-power one. Now I'm gonna go with that line. I really don't want Shadow Creeper to kill my unit, and I'd really like to get this Warcry trigger going. Okay, the fact that he didn't block means it's most likely, yep, something that doesn't have 3 power. Because if he blocked it, our guy goes to a 3/3 because of the Valor effect. That's pretty annoying for just a... Vanilla is a term we use to call units with no effect, so that's pretty good statted. Oh man, so we just want sigils now. We just want sigil. I can't believe I'm saying that, but in this case, we're gonna need it. So we'll play our stealth unit. We really can't attack here just because his 3/5 will just block. Okay, ghost form on this guy. Wow, really? That's pretty aggressive. I'm actually totally fine with that. So we have a couple options here. Generally, you want to use as much of your power per turn as possible. That's, once again, that goes along with your you're building your board advantage more efficiently by playing units out that way. And this guy specifically has an attack or an effect that activates upon attacking, so we'll play him before we attack with both of our units. He gets that +3 power. He'll probably block the... Yep. Nice. So that was a very good turn for us. I'm really surprised he attacked with that thing. Play teleport. I'm totally fine with that. He's thinking about it. I hope we can slam a sigil next turn. We still won't play Opum yet, just because we want to have a Sentinel for his effect. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, so that right there is not great. So things I'm considering here. I could attack with 2 things to grow him to 8 attack, just because then I'll be able to battle with this thing, but I just don't think that's a winning play here, so turn 6, 7, 8 with Overwhelm's pretty good. So yeah, we'll play our Sentinel, pass, and hope he doesn't decide to attack with it. if he does attack with it, we're just going to need to double, triple block it. Okay, so he just got Primal Influence, the first one, so most likely... Yep.
Advance!
Okay, this is weird. I don't know what cards he's splashing for here. So we call splashing is a term that describes a deck that's mostly two factions, but is splashing a little bit of a third or fourth faction in it. Generally, that's not a good idea in these league or draft games. So, 10 health. Can we even construct that here? We can, but we would lose all of our units. So since we have such strong cards in hand, I'm just gonna go all in. So 5, 8, 10 is enough to kill that. Unfortunately, we'll end up losing all of our units, and the 2/2 can block his 1/6 without dying. So definitely a risky play here, but we'll play Opum, give him +5/+5, and we'll still pass the turn. We don't want to be too reckless attacking here. We're like right on the cusp of evening out this game, so once again, we have all of our strongest cards right now, minus some removal, so all we want to do is stabilize the board, make it so he can't attack, and just hope we get some sigils. I'm feeling good about this one. If that's a removal spell in his hand, I assume he would have just sent that straight for Opum, and then we'd be in trouble. Okay. So that was a really good use of that. Yep, so we'll block the 1/6, we'll take the 3. He transformed it into a beast that's stunned. I'll go straight into Azrog here, pass the turn. And then hopefully our units survive this turn. We can go straight into Guardian Angel and attack with the 6/4 and the 5/5. Deal 4 to something. Oh yeah, this is going to be real good for us. Oh, wow, that's very strange. We only have, we've only drawn 1 Justice Sigil, and she takes 2 Justice Influence, so it's not great. So what we'll do here is we'll attack with both. We'll deal 4 damage to the 1/4 with Azrog's ability. Once again, that's just free removal for us. And I'm doing this even though he can block the 2/2 with his 3/5, just because it's helping remove his board. Hey, nice. That was really good for him. So he basically just prevented all damage my units would do. So he took out the 5/5. Okay, very good turn for him. But now he's just top decking because he has nothing in hand. So I'm just playing off the top of the deck. So he doesn't get the heirloom from it. Okay, this game's basically very quickly gonna start going in our favor here. So use that ability. We'll give him the buff. Deal 4 to the Sentinel again. And he most likely blocks the 2/2, takes the 4. And now we're just hoping to draw a Justice Sigil. That would be fantastic here. So So let's just go crazy. Challenger Axe on our life steal guy, and then give the +3/+3 buff to him. We'll do 4 damage to his 1/2.
A quick getaway.
And this game's all but over for our opponent here. He needs to have some ridiculous bomb to catch up. Whew. Good game, good game. Got a little bit worried there, but we came out on top. So 6-1 right now. It's not bad at all. There, we would have been in trouble. Okay, so this isn't going to work. We have 2 fire spells here. This even requires double fire influence, not a single fire sigil. So even though we have 1 thing we can play, that's just not good enough. Okay. I think we'll need to keep this. It's just so devastating to go down a card in these games. In like a constructed format where you have a specific curve for your deck that's like exactly precise where you want it. You have like a game plan. It doesn't matter as much because your cards do more, but League decks will have some weaker cards like this. You just can't afford going down 1 card. Remember, board control, board advantage is one of the biggest ways to win these games, and the other biggest factor is card advantage. And if we're starting off with 1 less card than our opponent, that's already really bad. Now, the fact that the sigil we drew is still another fire sigil is just really not good for us. And he's got +1 maximum power from this thing. Wow, that's brutal. Okay, I am going to block here just because I don't want him to have that extra maximum power. And we'll still get a Grenadine from our Entomb. Another fire sigil? Okay, I still should have attacked with that unit. So we'll see if that 1 point matters, but... Okay, maybe this Nightfall, I'll draw an additional card that'll help. Okay, I need to stop drawing sigils now. This is... We currently have 8 power, and this is really just a 3-drop. Oh man, that's brutal. So, we're going to increase our board presence here. And we'll keep back our 1/1 because we want to trade for his 2/1 deadly with that. Rather than one of these 2 units if we attack with them. Okay, so he's stuck on sigils, and we're drawing too many. Okay, there he goes. Yeah, this isn't looking great for us here.
Bastion must be destroyed.
So do we attack with 2 things, is the question. I don't really like trading 2 of my guys, and then I only have a 2/2 and a 1/1. Yeah, I'm not going to be aggressive here. Okay, he just had a pause there on his turn, so I'm trying to think what could be the telekinetic shackles, the fast spell that got us last game. Could be one of the cards he has. You always got to watch out for those pauses that happen for your opponent, because that tells you they have something that they could do. Has flying and double damage. Oh, wow. This is ridiculous. Unfortunately, that happens. Now that we know he has something, we don't want to do anything even more so. We'll leave it, let it be. That's brutal. Probably take out Ursa Squadron here. Oh. Okay. Wow. You're seeing it here, folks. 11. Okay. If we attack with everything, what would his blocks be? It'd be the 2-1 on the Ursa Squadron, probably. And maybe the 1-4 would eat the 1-1. And he would just take 3 from the 3-2. But it would get, one of our guys would get in damage. I'm actually comfortable with that. So we'll attack with everything. Try to get rid of his double damage relic weapon. Unfortunately, you know, these card games work like that sometimes, so. Okay, they trade off. Hey, that was... He played that well. Basically, we lose Ursa Squadron here, and we're down to a 1-1 and nothing else, so. Oh, this is... yeah. This is it. Unfortunately. We need, like, ridiculous draws to... Okay. You know, sometimes this happens. You know, you just gotta realize it's not your play skill. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just random chance. I have 12 of my 19 sigils. That means I only have 7 out of my 29 cards. What? Yo, the odds of that are ridiculous. What? Wow.
I've been waiting for this.
Wow. And so we did call it. Block the 5. Wow. Once again, he said thanks. I think he thought we were just not playing cards in our hands. Oh, we were trying. We were trying, that's for sure. So too many sigils in the hand, basically. This we will keep. It has sigils of both factions, which we want. Okay, so we'll play our depleted power just because we don't have any turn
Break
ones.
the barricade.
So we'll play Spark Hatcher. I'm perfectly fine blocking his 3-1 with that and trading if he does
Feed them
that.
to the dogs.
Okay. That card is extremely powerful, so as soon as you're able to deal with those type of cards, you try to kill it right away. So we'll Gravity Glove, amplify it once, making it a 2/2. Attack that. And then we'll pass. We don't want to attack because he wins that damage race. That doesn't really do anything there. Use all of our power. We aren't going to attack just because he blocks with that really not good card. Once again, these are cards that you don't want to put in your deck. They just don't do enough. So he's also stuck on... Man, I feel bad. He's stuck on sigils, and basically we're gonna start running away with this game with our legendary. No, that card will do him good. Hopefully he can play a 3-cost thing. Yeah. Well, I guess that was justice. My karma coming back for losing the flooding out in that last game. So I'll take it. We are ranked 54. It definitely won't stay there as, you know, more people join the league and play, but man, I'm satisfied. 80% win rate to start off week 1. And, well, I'll catch you guys back in week 2's games. Peace!